Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, I wanted to bring up this concept of paper Bitcoin and the risks of paper Bitcoin. So ultimately in Bitcoin, we have a saying, not your keys, not your coin. And this is the fundamentals. This is so true because your Bitcoin ETFs, your MicroStrategy shares, Jack Mallers has a company, a treasury company, even Adam Back, one of the original cypherpunks who's named in the Bitcoin white paper, he too has a publicly traded Bitcoin treasury company. So you got to ask yourself, is he compromised? Because ultimately they are not in control. Okay, the powers that be, the financial powers that run the world are in control if it's on traditional TradFi rails. And this was the whole point of Bitcoin, was to escape the traditional TradFi system and to be decentralized. Bitcoin was gifted to us by Satoshi Nakamoto right after the 2008 financial crisis, which was instigated by the financial powers that be. Once these companies are on the financial rails, you do not control your Bitcoin. This is not Bitcoin, this is just exposure to Bitcoin, and it's a huge risk because ultimately there's only one way to hold Bitcoin, and that is in self-custody. Self-custody Bitcoin in cold storage is ultimately the best way you can hold your Bitcoin to stay free and sovereign. But with self-custody, there are risks. So that's why I advocate for the Bitcoin Way. The Bitcoin Way is a great company. There's good guys there. Tony is the team leader and founder. They are an educational platform. Got a great team of guys there. They've been doing it for a long time. But if you have any questions or you're a little concerned about setting up your self-custody the right way, I highly recommend these guys. You can book a 30-minute call. It's free. You can discuss what issues you're having. But ultimately, the Bitcoin Way is a great platform that will guide you and help you set up your self-custody system with the best practices. The Bitcoin Way offers services such as setting up your wallet, setting up a multisig, that will help you set up a node and why it's important to run a node. They also do things like inheritance planning and ultimately Plan B Residency. So if you're in a country that you're not happy with and you want to escape, they can assist you with that too. But ultimately, what you want to be is you want to be self-sovereign, Bitcoin and self-custody, but with that self-custody comes responsibility. That's why, again, I advocate for the Bitcoin Way. Once you're set up with your self-custody system and you're ready for the next step, how do you acquire Bitcoin? And ultimately, the best way to acquire Bitcoin is with the Bitcoin Well, because with the Bitcoin Well, it's direct into self-custody. Okay? So that means when you send your money in to the Bitcoin Well, they buy the Bitcoin and they'll send it straight directly to your designated Bitcoin wallet, ultimately keeping you in control the whole time. These two companies are self-sovereign, they believe in Bitcoin, and they are Bitcoin only. So leave the shitcoin casino, dollar cost average, and ultimately every month you want to acquire a little bit more Bitcoin than you had the month before.